First grade, what's going on? Mr. Hunter here with your history lesson today. You should have your history book out. We're going to be on page 20 and we're just going to 22. So a short, quick lesson a day. Who are we talking about? What are we talking about today? Well, as you know, we've been doing review over the past few days, few weeks. We're going to be talking about people who were able to celebrate a wonderful freedom by coming to America. They had the freedom to worship. They were not able to worship where they lived. They lived not in America. They lived in England. And they came to America and they were able to worship as freely as they wanted to. Who are these people called? They're called pilgrims, all right? But pilgrims were not able to worship when they were living in England. So they came here, their names were changed, they became pilgrims, and they started to have the freedom of worship. So we're going to talk a lot more about them today. We're going to talk about a special holiday that everybody gets together in November. We eat a lot of food, we eat turkey, called Thanksgiving, and how the pilgrims did it. So again, this is a review. We're making sure that we know everything that we've been taught over this year, so that when we go into next year in our second grade, we're able to keep going higher in our knowledge. All right. So let's look at page 20 right now. We have vocabulary words at the top. We have pilgrims. Everybody say pilgrims. We have England. We have worship. We have Native Americans. We have Squanto, and we have governor. All right. So let's look at page 20. The great people of America, the pilgrims. The pilgrims became great Americans. In 1600, they lived in England. They loved God very much, and they wanted to worship him in their own way. But in 1606, you guys remember what happened? The King of England said, everybody must go to my church. Was that right? Was that fair? No, it wasn't fair. And did the pilgrims want to do that? No, they didn't. So the pilgrims said, we must find a new country where we can worship God in the right way. Because the king's church, he didn't worship God the way they did. So they needed to go back and worship the way that they wanted to, the way they felt they needed to. All right. So after going here and there, they traveled to different places. These people sailed for America in a little ship called the Mayflower. Now, I want you to notice that that little ship that's in your picture, their boat wasn't that small, but that's just to show you the picture. But all these people, the pilgrims, were traveling, trying to find a special land where they could have the freedom. So they sailed on the Mayflower, and these people changed their names. That's when they officially became the Pilgrims. A pilgrim is one who travels from place to place. So what's a pilgrim? You travel from place to place. Now, if you're asking, Mr. Hunter, well, I lived in Gardena and now I live in Ladera Heights, does that mean that I'm a pilgrim? Or if I travel from home to the school, does that mean I'm a pilgrim? No, no, you're not a pilgrim. It's totally different. But these people were traveling to different countries, to different lands, trying to find a place to live. And that's why they're called pilgrims. All right, looking at page 21, it says, it was not easy for the pilgrims when they did reach America. They reached America, but it was winter. And you know what happens in the wintertime? Not here in California, not on the West Coast, but on the East Coast, really cold. Not that much food the pilgrims had. And guess what? Because of that, they didn't have the proper clothes. They got sick. Some of the pilgrims died. And did that make them not trust God? No, they still trusted God regardless. Some friendly Native Americans came to the pilgrims in the spring and they met them. And one Native American, his name was Squanto. Everybody say Squanto. All right. Squanto brought them corn, but he didn't just bring them corn. He showed them how to plant it, in the ground, and so they could make their own corn. So when the fall came and all the crops were gathered, the pilgrims were very happy because this time it was cold, but they had food to eat. They had food for the winter. Their people were not sick, and the Native Americans now became their friends. The governor, he set aside a special time to give thanks for God because of all this. And the pilgrims invited the Native American chief. When the chief came, he brought 90 people with him. So that's a 9 and a 0, brought 90 people with him. All right. So before we move on, a couple of questions. Why did the pilgrims leave England? Do you guys know? They left England because the king was trying to make them worship and go to his church, and they didn't want to go to his church. His church wasn't the same church as theirs, so they left, trying to go to the builder or get a land so they could build their own church. Now, why are these people called pilgrims? What's a pilgrim again? A pilgrim is a person that travels from place to place. Okay, they're looking for a place to live. They're traveling from place to place all over. And I think I have one more question for you. They came over to America not by walking, not by driving. There was a lot of water in between. So what did they take to get here? Okay, they took a boat, a ship. But what was the name of that ship? I'll give you a hint. The first 3 letters of that ship or the month that we are in right now? It's the May flower, the May flower. So just think of May and flowers and you'll be on, okay? All right, let's turn the page, one more page, all right? Now, looking at page 22, the first Thanksgiving day. Who likes Thanksgiving? I love Thanksgiving. I get to see my family, get to spend time with friends, and then the food. So amazing, so amazing. All right. The first Thanksgiving Day was in 1621. That was a long, long, long time ago. Mr. Hunter wasn't born. Your parents weren't born. Your parents' parents weren't born. So a long time ago. The Pilgrims and the Native Americans ate their food and they played games for 3 days. So we only celebrate Thanksgiving for one day. But the Pilgrims, they celebrated for 3 days. They did not forget to thank God for his goodness to them. So is Thanksgiving about the food? As much as we love our family, is it about all the family all the time? The first person it's about is God, thanking God for everything that he's blessed us with. And then we can thank him for the family and spend time with him. And it's just amazing. All right. Today we still have Thanksgiving, which is a special day for thanking God. We celebrate Thanksgiving every year. It's the same year, not the same day, but the same time of the year. It's on the fourth Thursday in November. So guys, there's a lot that we've covered here about Thanksgiving, talking about the Pilgrims, talking about a few other things. I want to do a little quick review real quick, just to make sure, and ask you guys, I want you guys to get thinking about this. Why is it important that we celebrate Thanksgiving? Why is it important that we celebrate Thanksgiving? Who are we thanking? Thanking God. Well, what are we thanking God for? Thanking God for our health. Thanking God for our ears to be able to hear. Thanking God for every little thing that we can think of. Because guess what? Without God, none of it would be possible. Then we can spend time with our family and our friends and thank God for our family. Thank God for good mom, good dad, just everything that you can think of. You want to thank God for during that time. Here's a trick question. Do we only thank God on Thanksgiving? No. Can we thank God every day? We thank God every day? Really? That's awesome. Well, guess what? I don't know about you, but I'm going to start thanking God today. I actually write down, and I want to encourage you to do this. Maybe you can ask your mom or your dad to help you out, your brother or your sister, Eliana, or Jeremiah, Sam, Dylan. I write down somebody and I write down something that I'm thankful for every day. I do this, and it's not to brag or anything, but I do this so that I can remind myself of how thankful I am for certain things and just really thank God. And it's a constant reminder to be thankful, thankful for my health, thankful for my life, thankful for my family. And so I want to encourage you guys to start doing that. Write down somebody that you're thankful for every day. Write down something that you're thankful for and be creative. Okay. I know sometimes you guys say, I don't know. Well, think about it. Okay. Are you thankful for your clothes? Thankful for your house? Thankful for your family? Think about it. Be creative. Write it down. Can't wait to hear what you guys are talking about. I love you. I see you tomorrow.